Our mission is to be committed to excellence and continuous improvement in our services to all.
Good evening, everyone. I didn't hear you. Good evening, everyone. How are you guys doing? We're very happy that you could take some time off and join us in celebrating Valley Hospital and the new partnership, and I'll let Lydia throw more light on that. But I just wanted to come in and say, welcome everybody. We will now begin. I will let Lydia, the CEO and co-founder of Valley Hospital, now take it forward. Any form of introduction is less for Lydia, but she's known as the lady who makes everyone, you know, get to work. So I'll let Lydia now come and say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I have a cold, but that doesn't prevent me from talking. So as you have been told, I'm Lydia Obwanga. I've been in the Valley Hospital since 1996, and that's about 26 short of 1 month. Yes. So I'm here to welcome you and to tell you feel at home. This is like we are in the Valley Hospital. So we are inviting you in the Valley Hospital. They only gave us a space, okay? So Valley Hospital was started 1996, and as I'm telling you, in a month's time, it will be 26 years old. But we have attracted investors. You see, when you go through for an investment, or an investor comes to you, unless you are attractive, trust me, they will never come to you. So they must have found us attractive, and that's why they are here. And the company that we have gotten into partnership with is called Ascent Capital, or Ascent Africa. And they are very enthusiastic to take the hospital from where we are right now. They want to inject the capital, and they are going to improve the hospital greatly. So for the doctors who are in here, and for those who are not here, please pass the message. Valley Hospital is about to expand, and it is going to grow. And for that reason, the services are going to increase, the services that are not there. So you'll have a better, bigger environment to serve your clients. And with those few remarks, I'm going to invite the chairman of Valley Hospital, Dr. Moses Okech. Dr. Moses Okech.
Thank you. Good evening, all. It is with humility that I actually stand before you. As you have been told, I'm the chairman of governors of quite an outstanding evening in the history of Valley Hospital. When we started Valley Hospital. But almost, may I just say thank you all for the time you have spared to be with us this evening. We are very, very grateful for that time. We know you are all very busy one way or the other, but at least out of the busy schedule, you have spared time to be with us. And we highly appreciate that, and we owe you a great deal for that. For my directors, Dr. Godfrey Obwanga, he is our administration director, he is with us. The other directors, may not be with us, the late Abraham Kiptanui. We continue paying great respect for the time we had with him, and it's in record all that transpired. We still owe him a lot, and we hold him in high respect. The table where I have been sitting, we have had a bit of changes, but there is a saying, we are all on a journey, and if you want to walk fast, you walk alone. But if you want to go fast, you do what? You walk with others. And there are interesting table. It was that I was with this group of people from Standard Bank, Ascent, Dr. Joyce Gikunda is there. We were discussing about investments and all that. Now, being brought up as a doctor and all that, during our training, Dr. Bwanga, I think that, and the people who are above us, we got highly indoctrinated professionally, to the extent that when we were earning 1,200 shillings as interns, and when we qualified, after qualifying from intern to the medical officers, they added 200 shillings. So we were earning 1,400 shillings per month to keep going. And we used to look at these other people who probably, well, we were seeing them around that time, 404, and then came on 544 and all that. We had to go and before them to get a loan so that you could get a doctor. And such is the profession of the doctors. We have many colleagues here, and the medical profession and all that, there are changes. Provision of medical care has changed quite a great deal. The kind of clientele we are taking care of has got demands than those we were looking after before. We were just observing that the percentage of population in our country, those who are over 75 years old and who probably have got a separate kind of outlook in their demand from the doctor, are very few. The kind of clientele we are seeing now have got greater demands. By the time they are coming to school, he's gone through all the Googles and whatnot. Although I have this backache, but the Google had told me this. I just want you to confirm that what the Google told me is correct. And I know, as a doctor, let him speak or her speak her heart out. Spoken her heart out, then you would now explain to him or her the requirements and all this. So we at Valley Hospital, then we find what we started 26 years ago, we got to revise our level of provision of the facilities we are using in the provision of health care. Patients would say, okay, what we had, that old X-ray they have there is the one they started off with. And quite clearly, there are so many other areas we have noticed in Valley Hospital that we need to come up. General surgery or gastroenterology surgery. And we know that laparoscopic surgery has come, endoscopic and all these diagnostic facilities, leave alone that. But other areas of development, surgery, all that. Outside that, may I at this juncture pay great tribute to the orthopods who have been operating at Valley Hospital. Total hip replacement, knee replacement, they have been doing those in Valley Hospital with great considerable success. And every now and then I have asked, it's time now. We reported the number of cases done, any complications, success, patient's response, and all that. We need to publicize that this is what we have done in terms of knee replacements and all that. People are doing it elsewhere. But the degree of response from the patients or success and all that, that's what matters. It's not just out of the op room, we carried out total knee replacements. How has that patient responded? But objective view is that the degree of success has been very, very high. Patient satisfaction has got very, very high. Then within the area, we notice there are areas of deficiencies in terms of provision of this access. Where are we with the cardiothoracic surgery? A lot needs to be done. Neurosurgery, a lot needs to be done. During the peak of COVID, there was a serious shortage of ICU beds in the region. You could concoct anything and let it an ICU bed and it could be occupied, provided you have an oxygen mount. As to those, probably we need to discern further as to whether it is sufficient to confirm it ICU or not. That left a lot to be desired. We need to, Valley Hospital is looking forward again to improving on that. And there are other areas which we are going to address. And of those that I have mentioned, we know we have got very constructive feedback on what they require. That, okay, Valley Hospital has provided all these, we would have worked a lot better. We know that the G-arm machine now is so much improved to the extent that there is a smaller one you need to move around as they are carrying out all this. Valley Hospital is looking into improving in all those. And then all other areas. So that's why we said, okay, we want to walk far. And as I said initially, you want to walk far, you don't need to walk alone, you walk with us. We said, okay, we would work with Ascent and see if we can bring this. The question of, okay, fine, it's cardiothoracic surgery, refer to this place, or advanced neurosurgery. We all know that advancement in neurosurgery, what has gone on and all that. We are, I think if we, Ascent, David, you are there, and you are listening to me carefully. Here, we want to meet this objective because very soon, I don't think Dr. Cage, he's now about 70, he'll go away out of the sea. No, I'm still answerable. I'll leave answerable to what we are saying, that we want to provide this. And Nakuru County and all those clientele, we do see benefit from this. We want this cardiothoracic unit to get going. All this that is being talked of, there is nothing mysterious about all this being talked of, kidney transplants and all that, bypass and all this, no. We know that in cardiothoracic surgery, there is now a great advancement. The way that to enjoy at your hospital, opening the chest, and then getting the long saphenous vein. That's what I used to do there. Get it ready for the cardiothoracic surgeon so that we could do a bypass. All those now bypassed. There are newer techniques. That's what we want. So Ferguson, glad to see you around. Valley Hospital is looking forward to moving to a higher level in terms of provision of health care. And we are very ambitious professionally, and we know we'll get there. David, if you don't deviate and all that. We have talked a lot about finances and all that. In our table, investment, tell them that we doctors, most of my contemporaries of Pesanane. So we are a bit parochial in our outlook when it comes to fiscal issues. But fiscal issues actually hold. So although I saw very much when I was being seen all that, what they didn't tell me there is the fiscal aspects of life. And quite it is true with us. We would be us, Dr. Mugo, quite a close friend there. We would be asked where Dr. Mugo takes his child, many of his sons and all that. Where did you go to school? And one would leave a question mark. Oh, okay, Dr. Mugo's children walipelekwa huko. Oh, true. No. I think that professionally we came out clearly. We see that our fiscal rewards as doctors matches the effort that we did to be what we are. Thank you. David, I think I'll leave it at that. I told you I admire Trump because of his investment concepts. All said and done. And I would tell my fellow doctors that you read these Trump's books as what was being said. No, there are those true aspects of life. And we as doctors, I'll tell my colleagues, let's not miss out. So we are going to grow, and thank you all. We look forward to greater, more improved quality healthcare in Valley Hospital. That we are going to hold. Provision of quality health care, more advanced services, this laparoscopic surgeries, endoscopic, and all this. And all this, my colleagues, rest assured that we are going to provide that. And in terms of what you may need provisionally, you rest assured that you are going to be more very, very comfortable. And we are looking forward to putting forward a very, very comfortable doctor's consultation unit, whereby the doctors would come, reception would be there, and all that. So that it's not going to be far much different from what is there in Nairobi Hospital. Thank you all. Welcome.
Chairman, your phone. Chairman. Okay.
This is not my phone. It's new, but
Oh, okay.
I'll come up with these ones eventually. Just go on.
That's okay. Thank you so much for that, Chairman. I think your speech was all insightful and very interesting as well. Everybody had a smile on their face. With that very interesting and insightful speech by Chairman, I'd like to now invite Mr. David Owino, the managing partner at Ascent Africa, to say a few words.
Okay. I welcome David from Ascent. In welcoming you, these are my respectable professional colleagues and all the other friends who are there. There are people we interact with from very respected institutions. And hopefully, we hope Ascent is going to live to those aspects I have mentioned in terms of elevation of delivery of health care in Valley Hospital to a higher level than it is at the present, regardless of the...
Thank you very much. I think we should clap for Dr. Oketch. He is standing in for the doctors in a strong way. So the doctors in the house. Thank you very much, and thank you, Astuti. Maybe I need to introduce Astuti, who has been the MC. Astuti, my colleague at Ascent Capital. Astuti, stand up. So Astuti Sharma is a colleague at Ascent Capital, a senior associate working with us. She's been with me in this journey of Valley Hospital from the beginning, and so it was fitting that she is together with us. Thank you, Astuti. I did not know that Dr. Oketch is a Liverpool fan, but we'll discuss that later. Because he's talking about never walking alone. Me being an Arsenal fan, I keep quiet. And we don't talk about football from now on. Thank you very much for your attendance here. I think this is the right public that we expected to attend. So someone can say, no, not many people are like, no. There's the right public you expect to attend to be able to pass on your message and understand exactly what's going on. I think what's going on here today, and has been happening actually, we've been having this conversation with Dr. Oketch, with Lydia and Dr. Bwanga and the family of the late Kip Tanui, who was my good friend for a long time. So it's not something that happened in a week. There's a relationship that has been created over almost 2 years now in us reviewing and seeing if it's possible for us to be able to make an investment in Nakuru County, in Nakuru City. And our board thought it's actually favorable for us to do this. So we think this is the beginning of an exciting journey, okay? Very, very exciting journey. And I want to assure Dr. Oketch that for those promises we've made, not only to you and people of Nakuru County, there are people whose money we are managing as Ascent who expect that to happen, and they actually hold us accountable to be able to do this. Not only in terms of giving this, but we also want to measure the impact of the investment in terms of how Valley is touching the lives of the people of Nakuru County and the surrounding counties, so that we can make it a referral facility for everybody around the surrounding county. So that's our aim. Our aim is to take it to the next level, not only now making it very expensive and out of reach from the publics that Valley has been serving, but we want to continue serving the same publics. So our fund, and I will explain more about Ascent, our fund is not about making, Dr. Oketch said Nairobi Hospital, our fund is not about making Valley a Nairobi Hospital. Our fund is about making Valley a Nairobi Hospital in terms of services offered, okay? But still maintaining the same publics that we serve, the same markets that we serve. The investors who are investing in this hospital expect us to serve the middle class and the lower middle class, but provide services at the highest level possible, because that's where the population of the country is, and we don't want to make it very exclusive that now we become very few, serving very few people. We want to serve the same publics, but offering services at a very, very high level. So we don't expect the price levels to change that much, but we expect the service levels to change, and we believe the footfall will then increase for whatever reason. Now, let me go to introducing Ascent, because I guess Dr. Bwanga, Yuko Bwanga, my friend, was telling me, David, you know, there's a rumor swirling around Nakuru County about an investment happening in Valley Hospital. And who is this who's buying Valley Hospital? We need to know. We've heard of these equity investors and stuff like that. Maybe it'd be good to introduce Ascent and what Ascent does, and who Ascent is actually. So Ascent Rift Valley Fund 2 is a successor of Ascent Rift Valley Fund 1. It's what you call an investment company, or what you call a private equity fund. That's very, I mean, people don't understand when you say private equity fund, what are you talking about now, private equity fund? It's actually an investment company that invests in other companies for purposes of making a return or making a profit. But while at the same time doing that, trying to see if you can then, when you invest in those companies, improve them in terms of performance, improve them in terms of their outreach, and then in that you make a return overall. Okay, so the Fund 1 that was raised back in 2014 has fully invested, and then Fund 2 was a success of Fund 1, and it's that Fund 2 that has now invested in Valley Hospital. It's only in its second year of existence. So it was set up in early 2021 or late 2020, and this is the second year. And actually Valley is the second investment that Ascent Fund 2 will be doing. Now, who are the people behind Ascent? So there's David here who is standing in front of all of you saying, I represent Ascent. Yes, I do represent Ascent under the leadership of the Ascent Kenya Management Office. But Ascent is actually backed by a number of investors. There are a number of international investors and local investors who are actually behind Ascent. Now, who are these international investors? The international investors are actually sovereign wealth funds. These are governments, specifically from Europe. So we have the British government, or the UK government, with the what was formerly known as CDC, Commonwealth Development Corporation. Now it's called British International Investment, is our largest investor. We have International Finance Corporation behind us. We have the Dutch sovereign wealth fund called FMO behind us. We have the French government with Propaco behind us. We have the Belgian government with their wealth fund called Bio behind us. We have the Norwegian government with their wealth fund called Nofund behind us. So you can see the kind of investors who are behind Ascent. They are governments. And governments are all about impact. They're all about providing services, not just profit seeking. So we are being held to account to very high levels, not just profit, but profit for purpose, in the sense that we will have to measure the level of service we give. We'll have to measure the level of outreach we reach, because they have to tick all those boxes. The money we're investing in Valley Hospital has to tick all those boxes. I talked about local investors in this fund. There are local investors in this fund. So we actually have, in fact, if all of you, in fact, I think all of you are investors somehow. Because if you are living and earning money somewhere and paying NSSF, okay, then it means you are an investor, because NSSF is also an investor in our fund. Okay? So we have the county pension fund investing in this fund. We have got NSSF investing in this fund. We have got the central bank pension fund investing in this fund. We have got the Kenya Power Pension Fund investing in this fund. We have the Kenya Ports Authority Fund also backing this fund. So you can imagine, so we actually do have a huge myriad of mixtures, including yourselves, indirectly, being investors in this fund that has now invested in Valley Hospital. So for those of you who contribute to NSF, I think I could say congratulations. You are now a proud indirect owner of Valley Hospital, including the employees of Valley Hospital. Now they are indirect owners, because I'm sure, Lydia, we are paying our NSSF. So, as you can imagine, you actually somehow are a participant in the ownership of Valley Hospital. These are the investors who are behind Ascent Investment Rift Valley Fund 2. So far, we've raised $114 million. So we'll take about 16 billion shillings. We hope to go to about $120 million, about 13 billion shillings or so, in the next few weeks to close the fund. And so that's who we are. Do we invest in hospitals only or healthcare services? No. We do invest in a myriad of sectors. We do manufacturing, we do agribusiness, and healthcare was one of those that we were looking to do. In Fund 1, we never got an opportunity, but in Fund 2, we've been able to come across this. This will be our first one. Those of you who have been reading the newspapers, there's a second one that we are doing in Diani, at Diani Beach Hospital. We are waiting for approvals from the regulators before we close that investment. And why are we doing all this? We are doing all this so that we can be able to create a network of hospitals across the country that actually do serve that I talked about, the markets talking about, the middle class to lower middle class, that provide standard services that are good for that particular level of people, and they are able to then receive that. And then you have a sustainable vehicle that runs across. Not only do we do that in Kenya, we are mandated to invest in Kenya, Ethiopia, Uganda, Rwanda, and Tanzania. So we are investing across Eastern Africa. We've partnered with Valley because like I said, it took 2 years. Lydia, Dr. Kech, Dr. Bwanga here will tell you the rigorous processes that we've gone through. We do it every day, so we are used to it. For them, it was the first time, and it was very, very tough what they went through. So we had to beg for their patience every day, and it's culminating into this announcement you're making today, and we think that we want to see things changing. In fact, yes, Dr. Kech has told me there are a lot of things that have changed in the medical profession, and the idea would be that, yes, we want to follow through with those. We want to work through, and we know that health services, as the name suggests, it's a service. It is not a product. See, if you buy the Sunny water, you buy the water, you drink the water, and you finish with it. But health services means you're providing a service. There's a human element to it. Okay? So one of the key areas, which maybe Dr. Kitchen didn't mention, one of the key areas we'll be very keen on will be human resource development of the people we work with, whether it's the nursing people or the associated services to it, or even the doctors, so that we can then improve the level of service we provide to the clients we have, or to our patients as we call them. So that's one other area that we'll be very keen on, and our investors have even given us a side pocket of technical assistance to tell us, look, if there's any training needs you need for anything so that we can improve services, they are happy to fund that, so that then the provision of services to the clients will be taken to the next level, and the human resource capacity will be improved generally in a place like Nakuru. Because Nairobi is now, everything always ends up in Nairobi. So now we are saying, look, we can actually invest directly in Nakuru. For me, this is a big announcement for Nakuru County. It shows that investment, international investment, can come directly into Nakuru as a city and as a county can attract international investors in health services. It's a big statement to be made, yeah? And we hope with this, between today and 3 years from today, or 1 year from today, there'll be a difference in whatever we'll be doing, and there'll be a difference with all the stakeholders we work with. Most of the people over here are doctors who work with the hospital. We hope there'll be a difference in how you see we approach working together with you, how we work with your patients, how we deal with the information that you receive so that you're able to provide better services to them in terms of equipment, diagnostics, or surgical services, or mother to child. Whatever it is we can draw from developed markets to bring here, we will try our best to do it. In fact, my aim, like Dr. Kech says, was, look, we don't have to go to Nairobi anymore. Let's bring, if there's no doctor here who wants to come here, let's bring the doctor to see the patients, because the facilities here are available. But there's no reason why we should not have the doctors present here, because once facilities are available, then I think we can now all the doctors here, because Nakuru is a livable city. Nakuru is a cosmopolitan city. So anybody who's graduating with whatever level of education they have should be able to live comfortably in this city. Okay? The beauty about us investing in Valley Hospital is not first time and then we close the taps. If we see there's an opportunity to grow and we need to put in more money to cover certain areas, that capability will be there. And that's why I think the founders, and we thank them for the work they have done for those 26 years, thought it fit to partner with someone like us. Yeah. So in our improvement plan, in fact, what we call the 100 plan, I don't like 100-day plans. They don't work. 100 days before you do it, it's gone. I call them a 1,000-day plan. Things like improving the surgical ward. I think Dr. Bwanga has been singing it to me. What do you need to do to improve? We want to do those things as quickly as possible, so that then you as doctors who are coming in are able to then find everything ready for you to be able to perform your procedure or attend to your client in the best way possible. Because once you do that, you also achieve that satisfaction. We also want to make it easier, and I think he has mentioned it, we want to make it easier for you by creating a doctor's plazas of sort, where you can be able to come in there. You don't have to pay anything or buy or do anything, but you have a place where you can work easily. And if you have to refer to your patients to a lab or to a pharmacy or to whatever it is services you need, auxiliary services are closer to you. because that's how we will improve the provision of services to the clients that we are about to serve. And like I said, we are not necessarily going to change the people we are attending to. We want to continue attending to the same people, because when I'm reporting to the Norwegian government, or I'm reporting to the UK Foreign Commonwealth Office, they will ask me, so David, yes, we are happy that the financial performance is doing well, but how many patients are you seeing? Is the number growing up? Are you treating more people? Are you covering more areas? Okay, and they ask me, so give me a demographic. Are you attending to class A only? You are not attending to class C2, which you were attending to before? I have to be able to account to them to that particular level. And that's what our investment is here to do. It's here to actually add value. And we believe that if you do things well, money follows. It's not a question of putting money first. Money is always second. But the service you provide is what comes. When we looked around, I can tell you we looked at a lot of opportunities around that are even in Nakuru itself. In looking around and fishing around for who can we partner with, Valley Hospital was one of those, which means there's something to give back to the founders of the hospital for being able to run a company properly, or what we call professionally, and also with high levels of integrity. Yeah, because that's one thing that for us is normally a yes or no. If there's a level of integrity is a bit shady, we always say no, and then we don't proceed further. But for this group of people, we found people who we can trust, people who are actually committed to what they're doing, and then that allowed us now to move into looking at other areas. How are they serving patients? What is the patient-nurse ratio? Something even learning myself, because we are investing for the first time in the medical services. We are professional investors, okay? So we know how to look for investments and invest. And like I say, always there also, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But we think we are backing something here that will be a good case study to be shown across Kenya, if not internationally, in this part of the world, that private investment can come into a place like this and turn it around, and the service provision changes completely, that you have got satisfied clients on the other end. So that's what we are coming to do, and that's who we are, and that's who David Owino is. I'm not standing here and there's someone behind me. The shadow behind me, like I've told you, is the investors that I've actually listed out to you, who are mainly foreign sovereign wealth funds that are backed by big governments. And those big governments, I was telling Lydia and Dr. Ketch, they will be coming. They'll be sending their delegations to come here. Very many times I've had the director in charge of the international development of the United Kingdom saying, I want to go and see. I want to go and see Valley Hospital and see what they are doing, and talk to the people, and talk to 1 or 2 patients, and talk to 1 or 2 doctors to see that we are actually delivering on the things we're supposed to do. So we are being held accountable to very, very high standards. We do believe we can achieve that. It's not only us who are going to do this, we are going to work together with you. Okay? For us, we'll provide you the facilities. We'll listen to you carefully on what we need to do. Dr. Ketch has mentioned quite a number of things which we plan to do together with the partners that we've come up with, who will be helping us manage the hospital. So Valley is going to change in the right direction. So we always say, tumetoka mbali, tumefika mbali. Now, that's what leader will tell me, tumetoka mbali, David, na tumefika mbali. Then I tell that, sasa tunaenda mbali. We still have a lot to achieve. We are not saying we'll sit back now and relax. The idea is Ascent is coming in, and the work of Ascent coming in and investing is to continue the Ascent. You can see on the screen there, they're showing a mountain. So we want to continue ascending to the peak. To the extent that we say we want to be able to be measured and be accredited as much as possible. Some of our investment, even though they are SMEs, I'll give you an example. In Ethiopia, medical laboratory called International Clinical Laboratories. It was the only, up to 3 years ago, the only private laboratory in Ethiopia, the whole of Ethiopia, with 120 million people. We only had 1 lab there. But it was accredited by the Joint Commission, which is the US accreditation body. Basically, the services they were providing were to the standard that any American could be referred to that particular laboratory. And you know Americans and their issues where they want high standards. So we'll also want Valley to be an accredited hospital to the best standard possible. It won't happen tomorrow. It won't happen in a month. It's a journey we want to walk. That in a few years' time, we want to say that anybody with an international, what do you call it, insurance, I don't know, Aetna and I don't know who, can say, we can tell them, look, it's okay for you to be admitted in Valley Hospital. And anybody who's coming with an NHIF also can also be treated in the same facility. So that's the partnership you're bringing here, a partnership that brings progress, a partnership that brings continuity, and that will provide the publics that are here, specifically because you are the ones who provide that services, a better place to work, a better place to achieve customer satisfaction, and be able to treat your patient. Thank you very much, and we hope to get to know each other as we network. I was not supposed to talk a lot, but sometimes I deviate and talk a lot, but thank you very much. I'll hand over to Astuti. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. I would now like to invite Mrs. Lydia on stage to say a few words, and she would then give some closing remarks, and then we can head on. I know you can smell the food already, but we'll just give Lydia a chance to say something, and then we can head on.
Sorry, I talked a lot about doctors, and I do realize we have the people who give us the business. In here we have people from prisons. If I don't talk about you, just know I can see you. But we have companies that usually give us the business that we operate. Some are not here, some are in Nairobi. And I want to tell David something I didn't tell him. David, we are international. We are. Because we have an organization called Cigna. There's an insurance called Cigna. I don't know whether anybody here is a member, but as we are, it is a little bit expensive, but they give you a lot of money. But even if you are sick, the whole body, the money can treat. So please venture into that, because when you are sick, you can never know how much money you are going to require. So please, those people who give us business, we appreciate you, and we are very proud of you. And for the doctors, don't be cheated. Valley is very expensive. No, we are not. Bring your patients. Come sign up with us. And we don't have those bad policies of people have to apply to do what. Bring your documents, your professional documents, your indemnity, and you are in there. So for today, it's a very exciting day. Not because we are handing over our business, but because we have achieved the objective. It's been very tiring for 2 years working on this, but God has helped us reach where we were going. And for that reason, the only thing David is going to bring so that he can bring greater heights is the money to adjust systems and everything. And I'm sure he's going to take care of you with this organization. You'll be able to see us also. So for that reason, feel free. And the doctors, we appreciate you greatly. You have made Valley to be what it is. And we are very, very grateful to you. Without you, Valley wouldn't have been what it is. So thank you very much, everyone, for attending this occasion. We have something to bite outside, and we have drinks over there. Please don't leave them to us, because we cannot finish them. So let's just take all of them, eat all the snacks, and then we can go home happy. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Lydia. And I know I said, we'll head out for some meals just right after, but I'd like to take 5 minutes of your time and invite Dr. Obwanga on stage to say a few words. You've heard from the chairman, you've heard from David, you've heard from Mrs. Lydia Obwanga. I think Dr. Obwanga has a few words to share with you as well. So Dr. Obwanga, please join us on stage.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I would say thank you very much. I can see, because I know almost everybody, apart from people who have come to be with us tonight. Dr. Mutia seated here. I saw there Dr. Mbate. These people have been with us here for long. Dr. Tara is seated there. Dr. Guer is seated there. Dr. Podo is around. I can see the general commander seated there. You see, what I repeatedly is that you don't go around writing around what hospital is doing, but the best ambassadors are the patients and the doctors who work in an institution. And everything is possible. Nothing is not possible. So we appreciate you. And you see, Dr. Podo called me and asked me, Obwanga, is what I hear that what is going to happen? I told him, Podo, your concern will be addressed, but it's not what you are hearing. And I told him, we believe, and he also told me, Dr. Obwanga, where you have reached, we need to go another height. And that is what we are looking for. And that's why these people are here. We want to go another height. We want to go another height. I have discussed with quite a number of people. Unfortunately, I think I have traveled also a bit, gone out outside other parts of the world, how healthcare is being taken. I was discussing with my colleague. I've gone to Bangalore, it's very near here, 3 times. And I tell you, it is wonderful. Commitment, which is there, of those senior doctors, you cannot believe it. Dr. Okech didn't tell you, some time back, sorry to say this, Daktari, his son was in an hospital called Narayana. He's an anesthetist to learn about, to be dealing with the only thoracic cases. Can you see that one, how the change has been? We want to go to help people. Please, doctors, you have a right to come and suggest. Since David is coming in, Ascent is coming in, that this is what we want you to do. Without you and without suggestion, I think we may not go very far. So kindly feel free, walk in, give us suggestions. These are some of the things which we need you to improve. We'll do them. We shall ask them to be done. And therefore, kindly, I would, before I sit down, call Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sirma, to come and say a word. It is very important. We are in his area, and therefore, the relationship must continue. Doctor, kindly, I would kindly appreciate you if you can come and say a word. Don't you see it is a blessing to have one with us here today, Daktari. Thank you very much. Asante sana. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Saubuga. I'm Dr. Sirma, the Chief Medical Officer, Medical Services in this county of Nakuru. And I've come here with some of my colleagues. I wish them to stand up. That is Dr. Wanaina, who is the Chief Officer of Public Health, who is my colleague. We have our Chief Nursing Officer, Virginia. We have Dr. Kamanda, who works in the county. So to start with, we've come here as a county, Nakuru County. And we are also appreciate association with you. I want to thank Ascent for the investment. You are the trailblazer, but let me tell you, Nakuru is a potential county. Valley Hospital, we've appreciated inviting a partner in terms of offering quality healthcare in this county. That goes with the policy of the government of Kenya of giving the highest attainable standard of health to all citizens in Kenya. And Nakuru, we've just started. When you look back 10 years ago, Nakuru has really changed, even in terms of healthcare. And you know, government cannot provide everything. We need also the private sector. In Nakuru County, we've really invested for somebody who has been going around in terms of upgrading facilities in this county. And you know, the population every year increases. We serve a population of 2 million in this county, and we serve 8 other counties. For example, if you go to our main hospital, the former PGH, if you look at the admissions, 40% of the admissions are not from this county. There is a huge potential. People are now looking for quality healthcare. And I'm sure even tomorrow, we have many patients going to Nairobi Hospital. So can we bring the services that are being offered in Aga Khan, Nairobi Hospital, to be found here in Nakuru? And it is possible. We are now going to what's called the UHC, Universal Health Coverage. I'm sure in the next 10 years, this will be different. Because where the government now is going, in order to achieve UHC, like other counties like Japan, who achieved UHC more than 6 years ago, we should have mandatory health insurance for everybody. And that is what the government has actually embraced. So in the next 10 years, we'll be overwhelmed if we are not going to invest now. Because everybody will be insured, and everybody will be looking for quality health services. So it's good that you are the trailblazers. You will see what's going to happen in the next few years. This will be a different county in the next 5 years. In our county also, we have tried to invest. We have His Excellency the Governor, Lee Kinyanjui, is so passionate with health. And he has also, he's been tasked why we don't have an hotel that is called, what was he calling it? Ile grade, the highest grade, that is star, 5-star hotel. We also need a 5-star hospitals in Nakuru, because we have people who can afford. If we have 5-star hotels here, we have 5-star schools, we have 5-star industries. So what is remaining is a 5-star hospital.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll also work together with you as a county. For those who've been following closely what we are doing here, we are going to open in the next 1 month a radiotherapy unit in PGH, state of the art. And the investment is almost 1 billion. It will be offering radiation to all kinds of cancers, all types. We are going to have a brachytherapy, especially for cervical cancer. So I think for the first time in Kenya, within Rift Valley, something like cervical cancer in the next few months will be curable. Dr. Otara, people don't die of cervical cancer in the Western world because of the equipment that they have, and they've brought it closer to us. So cervical cancer deaths will be something of the past in some few months. And we also need assistance from the private sector, because we started chemotherapy 2 years ago, but we are falling short. We can do surgery, but we don't have radiotherapy. And every month, we do refer our patients, around 50 of them, for radiotherapy in Nairobi, just to go and wait in the queue for another 3 months or so. Some might not even reach there. They will have died by the time they reach there. So when you're investing, also think of such investments. Nakuru County has a potential. You know, by next year also we'll be having an airport. We can have patients from Southern Sudan, from Uganda, Rwanda, landing in Nakuru to come and have these quality healthcare services that will be providing, including what Valley Hospital will be doing. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to belabor so much about what we're doing, but we do appreciate your investment. And as a county, we welcome you in Nakuru to even go to another higher level, to build the state-of-the-art hospital in Nakuru County. You know, we have a lot of gaps. You know, neurosurgery, we started doing it the other day. We have only one neurosurgeon called Dr. Njiru, who comes only once in a month. But there is need. We have so many other specialties that are going on around. Egerton University started a MMed program in surgery. You know, long time. I've been in Nakuru for quite some years. I've also been a consumer of health services in Nakuru together with my family, my late father. You know, something like an intestinal obstruction was almost a death sentence, like 20 years ago, because we had very few surgeons. But that one now in Nakuru can never happen. We have registrars who are qualified. We have transfusion services. We have all kinds of the basic general surgery. So we want to invest more neurosurgery, cardiothoracic, the renal transplant, and the rest, and I'm sure we'll be able to do that. So I want to end here today. We'll still interact, and and we'll have a session where we can assist each other, where you can come in, where you need the county, where you want the county to assist you in improving in your investment. So you are all welcome. I'm talking on behalf of County Government of Nakuru. His Excellency the Governor is aware there is a meeting going on around here, and you have his blessings. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. I would like to conclude by saying we really appreciate your time, your patience, and your contribution to Valley's journey to this far and beyond. I would also like to appreciate all the doctors, the bankers, StanChat, the insurance companies, the stakeholders, our partners across all fronts. And by saying that, I would like to then proceed with some bitings out there. But feel free to network and create connections as we proceed. But if you're also happy to then go out and have some biting, we're also happy to do that. I would say good evening and have a good time. Thank you very much.